Hello and welcome back to Tinker Talks Guns. A couple years back I bought a Thesis Duty 2 45 1911, and it was $500 all in after tax, shipping, and transfer fees. And for that price I got a very well-made, well-finished, functional 1911. I was impressed. And it worked. I mean, right out of the box, with no break-in period. Almost like they finished the gun at the factory. Who does that? Not high-end 1911 makers, apparently. But now I'm being a jerk. Doesn't mean it's not true, it just means it's not kind to point it out. Since then, the gun has been a 9mm with an exotic fixed barrel weight setup, and then it was a 45 with a similar setup, and then it was a 45 with a 3 3/4 inch ultra lightweight slide, and now it's this. A full-size 1911 with a port. Let's take a closer look at it on the tabletop. As always, the first thing is to unload and show clear. Empty magazine, empty chamber, we're safe. So, I recently tested the SIG P365 X Macro with the SIG Carry Comp, which is a slide with a shorter than slide barrel in it and some ports. And this worked better than I expected, so I thought I'd experiment. So I cut a big old port in the top of my slide, moved the front sight back, and fitted a 4-inch bull barrel and tried it out at the range, and it worked better than I expected. Not fabulous, but better than I expected. And but the setup, frankly, was kind of janky, and I didn't trust it to be anything like reliable. So it occurred to me, why not just cut the hole right through the solid bushing and barrel and have a big old port in what is otherwise pretty much a standard barrel. I've got stuff lying around. I've been doing this for a while, goofing off with these things. And I've accumulated some spare parts. Why not? So I tried it out, as you can see. Let's take this thing apart and check it out in a little more detail. My handy dandy special recoil system capture tool. And then we can just pop things apart and take the slide off. So, what I did, literally, was insert the solid bushing, trace the hole onto the bushing with a scribe, and then file it out and clean it up with carbide burrs and a Dremel tool. And when that was satisfactory, I put the barrel in, scribed the opening, cut it out with files, and cleaned it up with carbide burrs and a Dremel tool. And here's the end result, which, as you can see, I did not cut across the rifling. I did chamfer the inside edges so the bullet wouldn't scrape bits of itself off on them. And I had to modify the recoil cap slightly so that it would stick out far enough to engage with the modified bushing like a conventional recoil cap would on a stock 1911. And tried it out. And the end result was really, really good. I was surprised. It made for a very effective compensator. Okay, big ports work. And I was able to produce some very nice groups with double taps at 7 yards. Everything well centered in the black on a standard size pistol target, which I cannot do with a stock unmodified full-size government model. And in fact, it even worked better than my rapid fire setup with a lightweight 3 3/4 inch slide. And I'm really happy with this. And of course, the gun has all the other features I've shown you before, the cut up safety, hand cut checkering all over the place. And no, it's kind of crude looking because I didn't see any real point refinishing it until I was pretty sure it worked, and now I'm pretty sure it does, because I tested it. And I installed a XS Sights big dot front sight and grabbed an old Safari Arms rear sight and modified it to work with the big dot. So it gives a good, very fast acquisition sight system. And I'm really happy with it. I did a few other things like replace the trigger with a Clonimus trigger with an over travel stop. So reset is now nice and short. And I did some trigger work, so it's nice and light. I don't have a way of measuring that, but I'm guessing it's around 2 3/4 to 3 pounds. The grips you will no doubt notice are the cheap but surprisingly good checkered plastic grips that came with the Thesis. I am going to make new grips for it, checkered hardwood, but I've got a Magwell funnel coming, and I want to have that in place and modified and make the grips to work and play well with it. So I'm waiting for that to get here. Anyway, this has been a very satisfactory project. I've run several types of ammo through it, including different hollow points, and my much beloved Spear 200 grain flying ashtrays, and it cycles everything just fine with no issues. So I'm going to call this a success, and I think this gun is going to get refinished and maybe stay this way. What a bizarre thought. Now, I posted about this gun on that vast repository of all human wisdom, the internet, and of course, younger, more enlightened people who know that all old people are stupid dogged me out for bothering to compensate a 45 because it's a low pressure cartridge. Sure it is, Sparky. Yes, it's lower pressure than 9mm, 10mm, or 38 Super. According to SAAMI specs, it runs 18 to 21,000 pounds per square inch. In what world is that low pressure? Comparatively low, yes, but that's not low pressure. And here's the thing. I was around shooting IPSC in the 1980s when compensators became a thing. And very shortly, if you weren't running a compensated gun, you couldn't compete. Why? Because they worked. They let you get back on target faster, so you could fire rapidly with greater accuracy. Trying to stick to small words here, bear with me. What everybody was compensating to achieve these results were .45 caliber 1911s. And yes, they did switch to the new hotness 38 Super. Did they do this because a high pressure cartridge works more efficiently with a compensator? No, they did it because they could still meet major power factor requirements, and they got 2 extra shots in the magazine, and this was a genuine competitive advantage. Like, yeah, okay, higher pressure cartridges make better use of a compensator, but they still work on something generating 18 to 21,000 pounds per square inch. So, get over yourselves. Now, I gotta tell you, this is not a .45 because I'm a FUD. This is a .45 because I had .45 parts on hand and it didn't cost me money to play with them. Yes, it would be better in 9mm, and someday it may become a 9mm when I have the disposable cash. Or maybe I'll do another one that's a 9mm. But in the meantime, I'm very happy with this gun and how it's worked out. So anyway, if you like the video, despite me being an asshole, hit like and subscribe. It's the only way YouTube knows who I am or what I'm doing and spreads the word. And if you want to support my efforts here so I can do more things like build 9mm 1911s, there's a link to my Patreon account in the comments or in the description. So, hope this finds you well. Stay safe, take care, and have a great day.